Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Calibria Crystal Guardians. Today, I'm going to be doing a spotlight on Monkey King, and I'm just going to go over his skills, what he's useful for, and just generally how to build him and stuff like that. This is the runes. I'll go over that in a minute, but first, let's go over his skills. For his force skill, he does basic attack damage and then extra damage based off of his max HP. He also has, once it's fully skilled up, 100% chance to stun. So he has a default first skill 100% chance to stun, which is really powerful. For a second, you have these two. I'll go over the one that I don't like as much first, and then I'll show you the one I like the most. Attack an enemy doing a good chunk of damage, a bunch of max HP damage, and you get a drain effect. And then after you're done attacking, you gain immunity. It's decent. It should do a good chunk of damage, but it's a single hit. It's got a 3-turn cooldown, so it's not anything amazing, and it's good if you want to make him a brawler and back and forth damage dealing, but nothing really all that amazing. Not bad, but it is a viable skill if you want to make him like a damage dealing type of unit, not a support or anything like that. Then there's this one. It hits all enemies, does decent damage, 9% of max HP, 125% attack, but it damages all enemies, it goes up to 100% chance to reduce attack of all enemies for 2 turns and reduces their energy 30%. That skill right there makes him really good for all sorts of stuff. Vapor Dreamland, Spire, all of the catacombs. He's good in everything, partly because of this skill right here, because he reduces attack and reduces energy of all opponents, which is really, really good skill, and it's a 3-turn cooldown. And then you have these 3. Now I'll go over the ones that I don't like first, and then I'll show you the one I do like the most. Attack all enemies 3 times. Each attack does a little damage and max HP damage, and has a 40% chance to defense break. Goes up to 50% chance to defense break. And it's supposed to ignore all shields, damage reduction, and invincibility. Yet again, that combined with Vajra, both nice bruiser damage dealing skills for an HP based unit. So if you want to build them for just doing a bunch of, as much damage as you can, those are the 2 skills. I don't even know how to pronounce that. And then Voodoo Pole. And then there's this one. He has a, what do they call it? Reincarnation Pearl. When he dies, he comes back with 100% HP. He can have up to 2 of these at a time. One he starts off the battle with, and then if he kills, then he gets another one. So he could potentially keep reincarnating himself over and over. He could be alive, kill something, then he would have 2. He dies, he comes back, he still has 1. He kills something else, then he has 2. Dies, kills. As long as he stays alive and gets to kill things, he can consistently just keep reviving himself. Which, if you do something like that combined with this skill and stuff for drain and everything, it could do good because you'd be making a bruiser damage dealing revived unit. But this is the skill I like, the Eye of Fire. Increases his own hit by 50%. So, then increases at this, it's a 100% chance to disable all target passives for 2 turns anytime he hits. And remember, that combined with this means he's going to hit all enemies, reduce their attack, their energy, and silence passives for 2 turns. And on top of that, he's going to be increasing his own hit by 50%. So he's going to be stunning, attack breaking, reducing energy, and silencing passives every single turn. And he has extra hit. He has extra hit just boosting on top of all that, so, making it so he lands his stun and attack break more often. And he has a nice HP 33% leader skill. So really nice kit all the way around. He's a great support. He's a moderate damage dealer. I wouldn't say he's really, really strong, but he's decent. Um, these are the stats I have on mine. Decent speed, a bunch of HP. I could go with a lot. I could go with more HP, but I wanted more rounded, more speed and stuff like that. I should have a lot more defense on subs, but it's decent enough. I got 25% hit. That's decent enough because he also already has 50% hit. So that's actually 75%. And most of the time that's fine. I mean, it's not the best and he could use a little bit more, but I like to go all the way around. On him I went with Berserk Immunity because I use him a lot in PvP because silencing passives, a lot of units have passives. A lot. So he silences all their passives. Draconic Princesses, the Spider Queen's passive Cobweb gets destroyed. Let's just go real quick over all the Nat 5s that have nasty passives that you don't want to deal with. That one has a passive you don't want to fight with. That one is really annoying passive. Then you got over here. She has an annoying passive you really don't want to deal with. He has an annoying passive. He can have a passive. And then over here, that has a passive you don't want to deal with. The Destruction Idol has a nasty passive you want to deal with. Abyss Lord has a nasty passive. She has a nasty passive. He has a nasty passive. He has a nasty passive. And it just keeps going in the light and darks. So there's a whole lot of them that you don't want to deal with their passive. So I like to do him a lot in PvP. And he reduces attack, stuns. He just has a really good support skill set. For him, I went with HP, HP, all the way around, just decent bruiser stats. I definitely need to grind these more to get more use out of them all. But for some reason, just berserk grinds do not want to drop for me, nor do immunity. But that's the basic build on him. If you want, you can go speed, HP. You could put a defense in there if you really wanted extra tankiness. That wouldn't be a terrible thing. All of his skills do more damage based on his max HP, so that's normally why you want more HP. But more boosted defense would make him work, just as well. Make him a little bit more tanky. But it's not too bad either way. Where can you use the Monkey King? When you ask yourself that, this skill comes into play, and you can use him everywhere. There's not one thing other than Lair. He's not good in Lair, but he's good in every single catacomb, all through Vapor Dreamland. As you saw in my Vapor Dreamland videos, I use him there. I use him in Spire. I haven't gone very far in Spire. I need to get around and keep doing that. So he's really good in Spire. He's good in Vapor Dreamland. He's not good in Lair. You can potentially use him in Blackpool Hills. Very, very slow. He's good in Inferno Legion. Let me see. I'll just show you real quick what he does in the Colossus 10. But this is basically the monkey. Oh, there you go. Nice little loading screen monkey. The reason why he's good in the catacombs, because the bosses all have a passive skill that when they reach 50% HP, they revenge, they all have some kind of something they do when they hit 50% HP. The Monkey King silences that. So they don't do that at all. So you actually don't have to worry at all about the boss's 50% HP anything. And that skill for the Colossus 10 is this one right here. fires lasers and missiles to attack all enemies 4 times. It deals more damage as there are less enemies. And it's whenever he drops below 50% HP. And you see that little question mark up there? That passive is silenced. And when this boss drops down below 50%, there you go, does not do that skill. So you can just keep nuking them down and do your thing. And there you go. Now the boss has an attack break. So in the end, the boss can't do anything. Let me guess. Fodder? Yep. No speed. So you can use him there. Leviathan, he works decently. He's good for all of the content in this game, basically, except for Lair. You can use him anywhere and everywhere. I use him in the arena all the time. I mean, this team right here works kind of surprisingly well. But he works really, really well in arena as well. I use him in a team for my Apex right here. This little team right here, it's a really, really strong bruiser team. So yeah, he's good in the Apex. He's good in regular arena. He's good pretty much everywhere. So whenever you get the Monkey King, you just kind of put Vapor Dreamland on easy mode. You put Spire on easy mode. You put a lot of PvP battles on easy mode as well. So that's it, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you want to comment down below, I'll see it and try to reply. And any recommendations for future videos, just hit me up. Thank you.